Hello and welcome to another episode of Colorful Finance. This video is the second part of what you need to know before dealing with a website hosting service provider. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel. Continuing our last video about the points you should consider before choosing your website service provider as follows. Scalability. One of the most important factors to consider is scalability. It is especially crucial if you want your business to be able to grow and see a steady increase in traffic. You'll want to keep an eye on typical website purchases, queries, and other daily tasks. As time goes on, your products will change and you may need to add new features. This can be done either in order to provide customers with the same level of service or offer them something new. It's easy to think that just because your website goes through a large traffic spike, which is bound to happen at some point, or you start streaming lots of videos, the web hosting company is automatically going to be able to keep up with these changes. What you should do, instead, is make sure they offer plans that can scale and also check their uptime. Variety in hosting plans. One of the first decisions you'll have to make when launching a new website is whether you want an easy-to-use, cost-effective hosting plan or one with more advanced features and functionality. If you're a small to mid-October size business, with adding a few more features is unlikely to be necessary in your business, and as such, you may want to save some money and avoid unnecessarily additional expenses. Choosing a low tier will have lower costs and, with many hosting plans in place, you'll be able to scale up when necessary as your business grows. Most importantly, scaling up to a higher tier, you won't have to worry about your site going offline when scaling up with the same website host. Data storage. When comparing hosting plans, you might notice that the lower tier plans come with a certain number of limitations, and the top tier plans offer unlimited disk space. Don't let a storage limitation stop you from starting with a lower tier plan. A starter tier with a storage limit of 50 to 100 gigabytes should be enough space for most people. Bandwidth. Bandwidth is how much data can be sent in a set period of time. Most often this is expressed as bits or bytes per second for traditional internet connections. For example, your home internet may measure 60 megabits per second. Site traffic usually varies from month to month. Most modern hosting plans provide unlimited bandwidth. Be wary of any hosting provider that puts limits on bandwidth. The bandwidth you pay for is supposed to be enough for your average level of traffic, but high spikes in traffic could cause you to exceed the caps if you aren't careful. If your website is experiencing bandwidth limitations, it's important to understand the costs when you exceed the caps. What happens if you exceed the rate and are fined? Does your site ever face the possibility of going offline? Adding bandwidth to your plan is easy and affordable. Host and server reliability. Speed and performance are essential to any scalable systems. Keep in mind that while you might not notice any issues when your site first launches, as it grows, it may see a decline in service and reliability. One potential issue with website hosting is that there is a chance it will have regular outages and network problems. When you're looking for a company to host your site, take some time to make sure they are committed to your business uptime by checking for information about their data centers, equipment and uptime promise. HostPapa works with the first-grade suppliers, including HP and Supermicro. Newer servers employed include 32 cores, minimum 128 GB of RAM, and solid-state drives. Evaluate the hosting provider security. Tracking website hacks. It is evident that 30,000 are hacked each day. In addition to that, statistics show that 84% of online shoppers will abandon a purchase if they find themselves connected via an unsecure connection while shopping online. Security should be one of your top considerations when picking a website host. This includes protecting your data, as well as user data, to make sure it's safe. When you're comparing the security offering of a website host, look at things like: backups are an essential part of using any hosting provider. They should provide regular, daily backups and allow you to create manual backups if needed. Do you have a provider that offers DDoS protection while hosting your website? Security is a critical aspect of your business. As we see more and more security breaches happen, it is important to protect both your company's proprietary info as well as any customer data associated with them. Data breaches can be detrimental to your bottom line, so it's important that you understand the potential risks of them and what you can do to mitigate those risks. When evaluating the security of your potential provider, it would also be worth looking at their hosting type and what aspects of safety they cover more effectively. For example, Windows hosts typically have built-in security features, while Linux providers often include third-party integrations. Linux's support community is huge and always ready to help out with the specific challenge you're facing. This means that even if you have a unique hosting requirement or problem, they'll know how to handle it, as they have experts on staff who can help you. So this could be one of the best Linux web hosting providers and a way to go forward for you. A good web hosting provider will have multiple levels of redundancy built into their network. They should be able to explain what that means and if the redundancy is network-based or if it's replicated on a physical level. Hosting companies like LiquidNet offer backup power and hardware redundancy so that websites have better uptime even when something goes wrong. HostPapa uses SiteLock to actively scan websites for potential malware and threats from hackers. Monitoring a web hosting provider is important for ensuring you're protected and know when there's a problem. You need to make sure that your information is safe and secure. Any business or website could benefit from buying a wildcard SSL certificate and domain privacy protection offered by hosting. Review the customer service experience of customers. Some important things to keep in mind when purchasing and hosting account are the level of customer service and whether or not there's a guaranteed uptime. You want to know that your account can be reached should anything go wrong with your site. And the issue isn't just that a website goes offline. Any number of issues can affect your business. Email connectivity, slow load times, errors with scripts and pages loading. No hosting provider can guarantee 100% uptime, and that's just one of many things to think about when it comes to hosting. When something goes wrong, it's not just about reaching customer support but how you can reach them and the solutions available that could help solve the issue. Here are a few important things to consider when assessing the customer service and support of a hosting provider. Which plans do you have? When signing up for a hosting package, you may need to take into consideration what level of support is offered. If a package doesn't offer the needed level of support, you'll get less value and be more likely to regret your purchase. Some providers may limit the provision of lower-level hosting packages as they encourage customers to upgrade to a mid-tier or higher package with 24/7 support. When choosing a hosting provider, find out if customer service is offered in all plans and how the service is approached. Customer support should never be a paid add-on. Availability. While brick and mortar stores can have set hours, you can always find your website online. This presents a big challenge for customer service to make sure that customers have the best experience possible, but if you follow this article's advice on how to provide stellar customer service with ease, it'll be a breeze. Websites are typically accessible 24/7 nowadays, so you want a hosting company that can offer live customer service online at any time. One of the benefits of using a cloud-based platform is that you can have 24/7 365 access to customer service, even if your site goes down unexpectedly. Methods of contact. Getting customer service easily doesn't mean a lot if you can't reach them. When setting up web hosting, make sure to pay attention to the ways you can contact customer service representatives. A provider with multiple contact points is ideal. This ensures that if you can't make a phone call, you can open a ticket or send a form online. Likewise, if Wi-Fi is unavailable, you may be able to communicate via telephone. The highest quality customer service is from hosting providers who are available every day from 8 a.m. to 2 a.m. EST by chat, phone, social media, and email. Additional training services. Training is a great way of going the extra mile to help clients set up and understand the fundamentals of their business. There are plenty of ways to get training. You can do it one-on-one, with online training courses, video lessons and webinars, teleconferences and more. Knowledge base and DIY information. Sometimes what feels like a complicated issue with a website is actually something simple that you can fix yourself. Often customer service won't need to get involved. The best hosting providers will have a knowledge base with easy-to-follow tutorials, tips and troubleshooting for common issues related to web hosting. In some cases, knowledge bases are enhanced by creating communities and establishing a service culture. Site owners and topic experts get help from members of their community to share their knowledge with other users. Some people think that reaching out to customer service is always the best choice, but if you know a little about DIY troubleshooting and are willing to roll up your sleeves, then this could be a good option. Mistakes to avoid when choosing a hosting provider. Choosing a reliable web hosting provider is important. Here are some pointers to help you find the right one for you. In order to successfully grow your website, you will need to invest in monthly hosting fees. Free hosting accounts are not a reliable long-term solution. A free hosting account might not be enough. If you're starting a business or website, it's better to get the appropriate package so you don't run into any issues. If you want to host files for your business, it's important to find a service provider that delivers reliable customer support and doesn't charge a lot for hosting. Free accounts could come with a number of issues that may impact the professionalism of your business and the brand you're trying to build. Forced or required ads and scripts running on your site that direct traffic out of the funnel. Slow loading times and low page load speeds lead to poor conversions and can result in people leaving your site. There are certain limitations with scripts, integrations, or the number of products allowed per day/month. This can be solved by upgrading with a paid plan. There are no limitations on SEO optimization, and it's fairly unlikely that SEO could actually reduce your search visibility. Read the customer reviews. To be safe, you should always do your due diligence before using a hosting service. Even if it's really good, you should conduct research online and read reviews to see how other clients feel about the business so that you don't get scammed. Make sure to read reviews from others before signing up to a service, but don't just look for reviews that mention security concerns or downtime. All reviews should be considered when making a decision about which services to use. Review restrictions on plan features. When comparing the features that come with hosting plans, pay attention to fine print and asterisks next to line items. Finding out about restrictions well after your site has launched can have a significant impact on revenue, especially if the restriction can hurt your business and forces a costly migration to a new hosting provider. Signing up on price alone. A new business or startup must keep careful control over its budget, but choosing the first place that comes along based solely on the price can lead to unexpected costs down the road. When you discover unforeseen limitations, restrictions, or a hosting plan that's just not as scalable as you expected. What's worse, you might discover that the super cheap hosting plans you thought were saving you money actually required an annual contract that you can't get out of. Always weigh your options and know the ins and outs of every hosting plan before you sign up. Conclusion: due diligence might be time-consuming, but when you take the time to establish your business goals and hosting needs, you'll be in a much better position to choose the most appropriate hosting plan to meet those goals and needs. The success of your website is partially dependent on finding a dependable hosting provider, so use this list of criteria to help you find a reliable, affordable service with scalable hosting that will support you as your business grows. Are you looking for a new hosting provider? We'd love to know what your experience has been like so far. Thanks for joining us. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.